Your problem isn't overthinking, it's over-identifying with thinking. Hi, my name's Thomas, and I help people with this kind of inner conflict. And I would like to take a moment to look at the big misconception that people have when it comes to their overthinking. So what most people are trying to do is to quiet the mind, to stop the thoughts. And this is an impossible task. It's exhausting, and it's something that maybe you just can't do. Now, does that mean that there aren't moments where the thoughts are quieter? Sure, there are, but it's not arrived at by forcing those thoughts to stop. So a lot of people come to me and they have an overthinking problem. And what they believe they want is for the mind to switch off or for them to stop the thinking. But this is probably the reason why they get trapped in it. Because in order to try and stop thinking, you have to add an extra thought, which is to tell yourself to not think this. Now, this leads to something called ironic rebound. And ironic rebound is the act of trying to not think something, and it causes you to think about it more. So, for example, if I were to say to you, don't think of a tiger. Now, probably what happened was the mental image of a tiger suddenly popped into your mind. If it wasn't a mental image, then maybe it was the word tiger, or maybe it was the sound tiger. Either way, the very act of trying to not think of the tiger is the very thing that causes you to think of the tiger. Now, if you repeatedly try to not think of the tiger, don't think of a tiger, don't think of a tiger, don't think of a tiger, then you have to keep on conjuring up the thought tiger in order to tell yourself to not think it. And if you're not repeating that kind of phrase over and over and again in your head, then what's likely happening is you're having to think, wait, am I not thinking of a tiger now? Am I not thinking of a tiger now? And so now what happens is you're caught in this loop. You're caught in this ironic rebound. And the very act of trying to not think the thing is the thing that's keeping it trapped there. So in those moments, perhaps at 3 a.m. in the morning or when you're alone in the evening and the mind just doesn't seem to want to leave you alone, what is it that you can do to make it stop? Well, like I said at the beginning, your problem isn't that the thoughts are there. It is not an overthinking problem. It is an over-identification with those thoughts. So what do I mean by an over-identification with the thoughts? I mean, it either seems like who you are, like you are the subject in the thought, or it seems like that thought belongs to you somehow. And the second one is the real trap because a lot of our thoughts speak in the first person and they sound like us. So it really seems like I thought this. And when we think I thought this, then it seems like there must be a reason for that. And that reason needs to be fixed or solved. And that is the very thing that triggers all of this so-called overthinking. It is an attempt to deal with or fix the apparent problem that is in the thought. But the problem isn't really in the thought. The problem is that the thought seemed like it was who we are, or it seemed like it belonged to us. So if you want to be able to create that experience of a quiet or still mind, actually the best thing you can do is realize that you're not really stopping the thoughts. Think of it more as those thoughts becoming transparent. They're still there, but they no longer seem attached to who you are or fused with you in any way. And when that happens, it turns out you can think anything. And when it doesn't seem to be you or yours, it just doesn't have that same stickiness to it. Now, ultimately, this is the thing I help people do with my already you model. We learn to see thinking for what it really is so that we don't attach ourselves to it in this way. And when you can do that, you will start to experience real mental and emotional freedom. If this sounds like something that is appealing to you, then the link below will lead you to a little diagnostic that will allow you to look at what it is that is keeping you stuck. And at the end of that, there's the opportunity for you to book a call with me. I look forward to meeting you.